And with me today is Dan Rahe. Dan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, sir. My name's Dan Ray. I'm the senior academic advisor for the IT programs at both the undergraduate and graduate level.
Great. Thanks, Dan. We'll be taking questions if you folks have questions, but for now, let's get started. School of Professional Advancement, which is where information technology programs live, is one of 10 schools that make up Tulane University. So just one of the group. And of course, Tulane is by most measurements, a top 50 United States university. And Tulane, there's our beautiful New Orleans uptown campus. All Tulane students from any of those 10 schools are welcome on campus, have access to all the campus facilities. It is one of the more beautiful campuses that I've ever been on. And if you have an opportunity to come on campus, I strongly recommend you do. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Interestingly, the Tulane was kicked off in 1834 to educate medical professionals. So we kind of started as a professional advancement school since 1834, and since then we've been dedicated to the mission of educating everybody. That includes working adults, career changers, and traditional students. Yeah. So Tulane programs, Tulane faculty, Tulane degrees. This is just by way of saying that everybody at Tulane earns a Tulane University degree, including the School of Professional Advancement. Your information technology program degree will be a Tulane diploma and degree. You should also know that our programs are ABET, ABET, accredited, one of the, if probably the top accreditation for engineering and science programs in the world. We are also a center of academic excellence in cybersecurity for National Security Agency and DHS CISA. So we've been accredited even outside of the traditional academic accreditations in our program. So what does that all mean? That means you're getting a great degree from a great university. So, yeah. Well, today we're just going to take a look at our programs and faculty, how we learn, our student support, and affordability and flexibility. And those last two are, very important to us. So one of the missions of our school. So let's dive right in. So there's a lot of words on this slide, but some of them are important to your experience. Tulane SoPA is affordable. In fact, people are often surprised that the School of Professional Advancement's tuition rates are competitive with state schools in many places. And so highly affordable. In fact, there is a tuition calculator that you could just Google Tulane School of Professional Advancement tuition calculator, and you could kind of see what it's going to cost you. So we're upfront, we're open, we're transparent, no shell game here. We want you to know what it costs. And I think at the end of the day, when you look around, you'll find that it's quite affordable. We're going to look at our faculty in a minute, so we'll go by there. There's a tremendous amount of great programs here at Tulane for our students. And one of them is Women in Technology Mentorship Program. We realize there's a gender gap in IT jobs, and we're trying to close it. So we actually have industry mentors, women who are executives in industry, Microsoft, Google, so on and so forth. They volunteered to mentor our students on how to succeed in industry. So that's pretty great. My advisory board, by the way, all of this stuff is on the website if you want to kind of make a note of it and go back later and look it up. My advisory board is made up of top-level executives from around the country in IT and in technology. In fact, you'll see on my board is the ex-CIO of the Department of Defense, ex-CIO of the state of California, two ex-CIOs of the city of New Orleans. There's Google on there. There's just a tremendous amount of companies, from everything to do with cyber legal firms, all the way up to the product companies, to support and services companies. So we get top executives to advise me on the program. Is it applied? Can people graduating from this program get jobs? That's the kind of stuff that we engage our advisory board for. So our courses are built to help you succeed in industry. So what's the focus of the program? Like, what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at it from three, whether it's the undergraduate Bachelor of Science degree or the master's degrees, we're looking at it from three perspectives. One is governance. You're Tulane students. We're not surprised when you folks go out there and become leaders and you become people who actually run IT programs, IT shops, IT businesses. So we bring it from a governance. How do you manage the information, the business of information technology, whether you're working for a nonprofit or for, Apple or whoever you may be working for? Well, how do you manage these things for success? Also, leadership. Again, we're not surprised when you folks become leaders. Many of our students go on to become leaders. And technical programs. So we governance, leadership, and then technology. Everybody leaving our programs is technical. How do I know that? We've got over 450 labs which are baked into our programs, which are not there they're not there to surprise you or to scare you. They take you by the hand and they lead you through the technical steps needed to, for example, to configure a firewall or to administer a network operating system. So these type of labs are built in. So we're highly academic. Again, we've got this international accreditation talking about our academics. But then we're also highly applied. How do I know we're applied? Well, we actually give our students the opportunity to earn industry certifications in their classes. So what does that mean? That means you'll take a class which applies to your degree, but you'll also have the opportunity after that class to get an AWS professional cert or a CompTIA Security Plus or a CompTIA Network Plus or a certified ethical hacking from EC Council or People Cert certification in DevOps or ITIL. These are our partners. All these companies, ServiceNow is another one. We've got all these partners and we offer our students to get these industry certifications while they're getting their Tulane degree. So what does that mean? That means when you leave us, you not only have a Tulane degree in information technology, if you've done the work and passed the exam, you have, for example, if you're a cybersecurity student, you'll get a degree in cybersecurity from us, whether it's undergraduate or graduate, and then maybe you'll leave with a Security Plus from CompTIA. Maybe you'll leave with a certified ethical hacking professional cert from outside the university. As somebody who's hired a lot of folks over the years, I can tell you that's powerful on a resume. So no GRE required for our master's program. We're going to talk more about stackable certificates in a minute. One of the best things about our programs, even after all of that other great stuff, one of the best things about our program is our faculty. Why are they so great? Well, our faculty not only have advanced degrees and terminal degrees, most universities have those type people, but these folks are also currently executives in the industry. So the academic stuff you're learning today is informed by the instructor's executive level knowledge of what's going on today in business. So it's not unusual, and this happens all the time. It's not unusual for my students to tell me that something they learned in class was discussed the next day or a week later at their job, and something at their job was applicable to their class. So you kind of get this echo chamber of knowledge that's going on from these great instructors. Amanda Fennell, for example, the first one on the slide, she is considered a national subject matter expert in cybersecurity, and she's obviously achieved a level that all of us would hope to achieve. And you'll be learning from her in your classes, and that goes right across the board from all these people. So our faculty is something we're very proud of. And that's learning from the experts. You could read Amanda's quote right there. All of our faculty, this is just a few of our folks, all of our faculty are highly invested in your success, and they love giving back by teaching our students. Our classes are all within reach of our students, but our faculty are fantastic at bridging the gap between this excellence that they've gotten hold of over the years, and then bridging over to our students who are learning. So that's something we pride ourselves on. So let's look at our bachelor's degree for folks looking to get an undergrad. So we have undergraduate degree. We've got a Bachelor of Science in IT with four different concentration. So you could just take an IT degree without a concentration and kind of build your own experience through our classes. Or you could concentrate, most of our students do concentrate in a specific area, like application development, programming, like product and program support, how to be a project manager, a scrum master, a product owner, so on and so forth, a business analyst, a system designer, all of those things under product and program support. Enterprise systems and cloud is which used to be systems administration, but of course, enterprise systems now usually deal with some level of cloud, whether it's hybrid cloud or just operating your entire business out of the cloud, or at least knowing that the cloud is there, even if your stuff is on-prem. So enterprise systems in cloud, system admin, network admin, cloud. And then, of course, cybersecurity. Again, we've got a great cyber program. And we've also got the last bullet is not a concentration, it's an opportunity. If you are in our undergraduate program and you have a 3.0 GPA or better, when you become a junior in our undergraduate program, you could apply for our accelerated master's program. It lets you take graduate programs while you're still an undergraduate at the undergraduate rate, and then apply them both to the undergraduate degree and then apply them to the graduate degree at the same time. So you kind of save money and time for two graduate classes by taking those classes as an undergraduate. So it saves you a whole bunch of money. And all classes taken even at the graduate level, once you're a graduate student, are discounted by 20% in the first 2 years. So you wind up, if you want to get an undergraduate Bachelor of Science and then go straight into your Master of Science, this is a great way to save a lot of time and a lot of money. So remember that accelerated master's program. That's an opportunity here at Tulane. At the master's level, we got a Master of Science in IT Management and a Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management. We also have some concentrations at the graduate level. You can see those on your screen, which are open to you. You can get those concentrations while you take the master's program without taking extra classes. And we have a great academic advisor, Dan Reiki, here with us. He'd be the person you'd be speaking to about how to do that, but it's completely doable. And we've also got graduate certificates. Say you're not ready to start your Master's of Science and maybe just getting back to school after a while and you want to start with a graduate certificate. We've got graduate certificates in cyber defense, cyber leadership, IT strategic planning, technology architecture, data science, and cloud. You can start with those certificates. And here's the best part. Those certificates will then stack into your master's. What does that mean? That means if you take a 4-course cyber defense graduate certificate, when you complete it, we'll apply those courses to your graduate program, so you won't have to take the full graduate. So for example, IT management has 10 courses required to get your master's in IT management. If you take this degree, you will have, these courses will apply to your graduate in IT management. So you can kind of get a certificate and a Master of Science at the exact same time without taking the extra classes. So that's pretty cool, actually. And it's a great resume builder. So, and then we've got a kind of a special certificate. And if you're undergrad, if you want to go to for your Master's of Science in IT management or or Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management, and you don't have a IT degree, and you don't have a lot of experience in IT, but you've already got a bachelor's degree, you don't want to go backwards for another bachelor's, but you really want to start working in the IT world. Well, we've got this bridge certificate called the Cyber Fundamentals Graduate Certificate. This one is 6 courses, and it helps you learn all the basics of what you would have learned if you had done a bachelor's degree in comp sci or IT. And even if you don't have that, you can take this fundamentals graduate certificate. If you complete the 6-course graduate certificate with a 3.0 GPA or better, I'll automatically admit you into our Master of Science degrees in IT management or in cybersecurity management. So it's a great way to get into the IT world, even though you already have a bachelor's degree, but it's not in technology or comp sci or anything like that, and you want to get into the IT world, you can go charge right ahead. You take this certificate, go into the Master of Science program, and lo and behold, you've got a resume that lists a Master of Science in either cybersecurity management or IT management, plus a fundamentals graduate certificate. So I think that's pretty cool. And I'll take questions on all of this stuff. So if you've got questions, just either drop them in the chat or just wait till we complete it, and we'll I'll make sure when we complete our presentation, I'll answer all your questions. So next up, so graduate certificates, we're calling it a SWIFT solution. You take those graduate certificates, you add them into your Master of Science courses, and lo and behold, you've got a master's degree without taking extra courses. I think that's pretty cool. It saves money, because now not only you've got a graduate certificate from Tulane, you've got a Master of Science degree from Tulane, and you've done that all with the same pot of money that it would have taken you to just get the Master of Science degree. So pretty cool. So what is it like to learn at SoPA? So, all right, we got these wonderful programs. We're a top university, so on and so forth. But what is the learning experience? This is, there's a lot of words on this slide, like interactive and great, engaging. What does this all mean, right? So you should know that at both levels, undergraduate and graduate, we have online courses. So you can take our courses from anywhere. I've had people take my courses from a submarine, military folks. I've had people take my courses from Afghanistan and South America. I've had people they're fully online courses, right? So that means wherever you are, we offer 2 different types of online courses. Either of them are available to you. So first type of online course is it meets weekly at the same time. So say 6 p.m. Central Time, you meet every week. All the students get into class on Zoom. You're all in the class. The instructor's there. Your cameras are on, and you go through your lecture and you discuss your homework. You work through problems, so on and so forth, right? So that's one way of doing it. So that's great for people who really aren't self-starters. They need structure to do it. But the other type we offer is for people who just can't get there every week. You can't be there at the same time every week. You work rotating shifts. You have some situation at home, and that's fully online. Those courses do not require you to meet. You just log on into our learning management system, which is Canvas, and you log on and you go in there, and there's this great experience built out for you to learn without meeting every week. Your instructor will offer once a month for everybody to get together, but it's not required. So for you, because we know that people in this situation really maybe can't meet with their instructor at a certain day and time. Again, rotating shifts. We've had firefighters, we've had military, we've had law enforcement. We have all kinds of people who can't work, who can't show up weekly for a meeting. So either is offered. You can take either. They're both there, and you can earn your degree in those ways. So why do I think these courses are interactive, engaging, and all this other stuff we put on this slide here, right? Here's why. When we build the courses, we take a subject matter expert, right? We team them with a instructional designer who's a PhD. We bring in a graphics team and we build your course. And your subject matter expert who builds the course will bring in examples and we'll tie it to the real world example. In fact, we actually have a fake company called South Balance. If you go to southbalance.com, that's not a real company. It looks like it, but it's us. And students have to solve problems for South Balance. South Balance is opening up a European warehouse. Now they got to deal with European regulations. What do? Well, we learn about cyber law and policy by going through South Balance. South Balance has been hacked in a course. They've got in and they've done things. You've got to go in and figure out how they got in, how to block them out. Do we shut down? Do we honeypot? Do we go? What do we do? Right? And so you'll be learning in interesting real world type scenarios. And that's the type of learning we like. Short videos, we don't do 3-hour videos, short videos, interesting readings, and so on and so forth. You've also got access to the Tulane Library, which has several million periodicals, articles, journals, magazines available to you from wherever you are on the face of the earth. Tulane Library is massive and it's fantastic. If you're a Tulane student, just like everything else at Tulane, if you're a student, everything is open to you as a Tulane student. Libraries, clubs, fraternities, everything is open to you as a Tulane student. So, and again, we've leaned into allowing our students to do interesting things from afar, distance-wise, and we've put a lot of time and effort and money to make these engaging. And those photos on the top, that's actually a metaverse course where students go in and they're actually in a metaverse and walking around in a town, and there's places for them to go and cool stuff like that. But that's an experience, but we've got experiences, different types across the board for you to network with other students and get to know your faculty, make relationships, so on and so forth. So, and career options. This is an interesting one because we put some careers up there, but the reality is, if I just started naming job titles at companies, we could literally run this, that you'd be in play for. We could literally run this meeting for 6-7 hours easily, because we teach a wide swath. You saw the 4 concentrations within at the undergraduate level. You saw the graduate IT management, cybersecurity management. Within those areas are dozens and dozens and dozens of roles for companies. I mentioned some of them earlier. There's just a plethora of roles that you would be qualified for at a certain level. Obviously, undergraduate would be more of an entry level, mid-level type thing. But again, when you leave us, the idea is to prepare you for these roles. So an example of one of my students, and by the way, there's many of these, one of my students leaving our program, they'll have a Tulane undergraduate degree or a Tulane master's degree, Master of Science degree. They'll have multiple professional certificates. For example, they'll be a enterprise systems and cloud student with a network plus and a server plus. There'll be a product and program student with an ITIL and a DevOps cert. They'll also have capstone projects where they worked for real companies on real projects as a team in their capstone class, which is culminates your degree. When you're ready to finish, you'll be taking your capstone. You'll be working on teams with other students to solve real world problems. So you'll have that experience and that portfolio under your arm. So now you've got top 50 U.S. university degree, you've got multiple industry certificates, you've got a capstone project which you can show to employers. Maybe you've participated in every semester. I run a cyber event. If you're local or you want to come local, I run a cyber event where you actually compete against other students locally to win prizes. We did it Last Friday, we gave out drones to the winning team and so on and so forth. So you might have that on your resume. Additionally, we have a cyber competition team, which you can be on the cyber competition team no matter where you live. We compete against other universities. It's extracurricular. We did a competition a week ago where we competed against other universities. And yes, we did the NCL competition. I saw a question pop up. One of the students asked that we did the NCL competition. Was that about a week or two ago? And so our students, when they get to their interview for their promotion or for their job or for whatever it is they're doing, they're going to have all of this stuff on their resume if they chose to engage in it, and even more. So we're preparing you for all of these roles. You just need to pick a direction and we'll help you go. And next slide. Career options in cybersecurity management and the master's program. Here's some roles. Again, what I just said applies at this level as well, except that we're gonna prepare you to lead things at this level. And so your capstone project will be around solving problems and making decisions. Do you want to go to the cloud? What's the cost ratio for on-prem versus cloud versus hybrid? So you're going to be prepared to solve real world problems, not in some kind of greenfield way where it's like throw the systems out, buy a new system. No, we're going to teach you to make real world difficult decisions based on metrics, data, and best practice. So that's what we're preparing you for. Next thing. And with that, I think I'm gonna turn this over to our academic advisor, Mr. Dan Rahe. Dan?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, so this is excuse me, student success and other information part of the webinar, excuse me. Just some basic information here that you'll have a dedicated academic advisor assigned to you for the program for information technology, whether you're doing undergrad, certificate, grad, that will be me. I'll be here to assist you, set up a semester by semester type schedule. Whatever semester it is a student, comes in for, and to get you set up with the schedule so you know what to take each semester. Professor Russo has an annual IT schedule that he tries to stick to as closely as possible to kind of make it easier for everyone involved so they know when to take which classes. If you're an undergraduate student and you're looking to transfer in credits, then there's a transfer credit evaluation process we have to go through where a student needs to obtain syllabuses from their prior schools and stuff like that. But I can answer those questions if anybody has anything about questions about that process. But I'll be there to work you through that process, guide you in any way and fashion possible to get you to the end goal of completing the degree, essentially. We have expert faculty with great experiences, Professor Russo mentioned. Take advantage of that. I've had students who were hired by their teachers before, especially in IT and in Homeland Security too, when I used to advise that program. And then it's great networking opportunities, whether you're in the school or once you become an alumni, you'll be, a part of the alumni network forever and are invited to all of those events. And you keep your Tulane email forever too once you graduate. And another thing we have too is a career advisor, Susan De La Houssaye. I urge all my students to take advantage of her services as much as possible because she's a great resource. She can help you with LinkedIn. She can help you with resumes. She can help you with mock interviews. She can help you with the career search. She does a little bit of everything. She has a ton of experience and is very helpful. And it doesn't have to be something you reach out to her about a semester before you graduate. You can, utilize her and her services anytime. She does headshots where you can come in and get professional headshots done for free. Just all these little things to just kind of assist the students and help them for when they complete their program and finish Tulane. But yeah, next slide, please. Transfer friendly. So undergraduate This is applying to undergraduates here. We accept up to 60 credits in transfer from all outside sources, meaning a student has to meet the minimum residency requirement of 60 credits to complete an undergraduate degree at Tulane. The waived application fee part is if you apply, whether undergrad or grad student or certificate student, the application fee will be waived for you. It may take a couple of days once you apply because they pull this information from those who attended the webinar and then update everyone's applications accordingly. You'll have a transfer student advisor. If it's undergrad, it'll be me. If you have some grad courses you took previously and want to see about transferring those in, then we go through Professor Russo for that, get a syllabus for those classes, and he'll let us know, how and if they transfer. Usually courses have to be at least a B grade or better at the graduate level. At the undergraduate level, the courses need to be a C grade or better in order to transfer. When you transfer a course into, it doesn't count towards your Tulane GPA. Only your Tulane coursework counts towards your GPA. There are opportunities for additional discounts and scholarships, depending if you're, active duty military veteran. There's an early enrollment scholarship that I think they'll talk about here. Yeah, early enroll award is listed there for undergrads. It's a little more for graduate students. Transfer scholarships, tuition discounts as far as if you're a policeman, firefighter, anything like that, teacher, Orleans parish city employees and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ways to get some discounts to reduce the costs a little bit. Next slide, please. We have credit for prior learning, which is another way to potentially rack up some credits at a reduced cost at a fraction of the cost of a course. At the undergraduate level, you can get up to 24 credits that way. Graduate students can get up to 6 credits that way. It's basically if you have any prior experience, whether it's in IT or not, and you're trying to, either maximize your transfer credits or get credit for a class that you feel, you have sufficient background in, whether it's work experience or life, personal learning, then you can go through the portfolio assessment program, basically, where you will learn how to put together a portfolio of your prior experiences and then be able to submit those for evaluation and review. And if those are then deemed credit worthy, then you'll get college credit for them for the corresponding Tulane course that's offered through our school. There's other options at the undergraduate level. If you're still trying to transfer in a bunch of, haven't reached the 60-hour credit max transfer, then there's CLEP DSST exams that are available, among other things. But the credit for prior learning is just a way to use your work experience. If you have been working in IT forever and you think you have like some courses that can come into the IT program, then you could start the credit for prior learning process of putting a portfolios together. They get evaluated by industry professionals. And then if, they say, okay, this course can count as our fundamentals of IT class, then we can, use it as such. And so there's another way to reduce some costs and to gain some credits that way, if applicable. Next slide. Affordability. Right there, you see the tuition. It's $623 per credit. Each course is generally 3 credits. There are some for the IT program, I guess I should say, yeah, they're all 3 credits. Our required writing class at the undergraduate level is 4 credits, but they're all 3 credits. The graduate credits about twice as much as the grad programs are, usually just 10, 11 classes. So they're a lot shorter. Financial aid is available. You go through financial aid with that FAFSA and that whole entire process, but just mentioning the credit for work and life experience again, that was on the previous slide, and the transfer student scholarship, and then the early enrollment scholarship. If you're an undergrad student and you are a member of Phi Theta Kappa, then you get a scholarship for that as well. All the other discounts that I briefly mentioned with public employees, active duty military, alumni, minority serving institutions, firefighter, police officer, EMS, and so on and so forth. They all qualify for tuition discounts as part of that process. Next slide. We're going to have the application requirements for the graduate program. Generally, students need a bachelor's degree in IT or a similar field, and they need or they need 3 to 5 years of relevant professional technology experience. That is all. If you want it, whether you have enough experience or not, and you don't have an IT degree and so on and so forth, that's something Professor Russo will determine when he talks to you about that, to see if you have the necessary background and skills to do this. If not, then a lot of times students can do the graduate cyber technology fundamentals certificate program that he was mentioning earlier, which is the 6-course certificate, which you take, which then essentially prepares you for any of our graduate or certificate programs in IT. Next slide. Excuse me. Application process. We have admission every semester, including summer. You can apply at our website, sopa.tulane.edu/apply. You complete an application. The app fee will eventually be waived, as for those of you who attended this webinar today. Upload your ID. Official transcripts are required with final grades and degrees posted if it's for a graduate program, or if you're in an undergraduate program still finishing at one school and wanting to transfer, then we will need final official transcripts before a student can register. You can be admitted conditionally, but you will not be able to register without final official transcripts sent directly from institution to institution. A lot of schools are doing the online transcript requests now, which is great because the turnaround is a lot shorter than regular snail mail like they've been doing for a while before that. But that's basic application info. Next slide, please. There's just some more info on the early enrollment scholarship deadline, as far as if you register by those dates, then you'll get a one-time early enrollment scholarship, whether it's as an undergrad or a graduate student. You can find all this info on our website as well, sopa.tulane.edu. And I believe there's a tab for admissions right at the top of the page, yeah, where that'll give you a lot of that information as well. Next slide, please. Great. Yeah, that's concludes the presentation. Thank y'all for joining. I'm gonna send it back to Professor Russo. If y'all have questions or anything like that for us, just let us know.
Hey, Dan, you got a question? Can you combine being a veteran and other scholarship discounts? I think they mean like 20% plus 20%.
Yeah, no, I believe you can't. So like if you're a veteran and then you're a city employee or something, you're not going to get 40%. You'll be able to use one or the other. And I know if you're active duty and you haven't used all of your tuition assistance benefits yet, then you can't get the active duty discount until you get verification from the military that you're no longer eligible for their benefits, but then you could get those benefits.
I think you got a follow-up question.
I'd have to reach out to Dr. Gold, our admissions director, about that and get back to you. If you can put your email address in the chat, then I will send her an email and ask about that and let you know as soon as I hear back.
So yeah, these are great questions. If you guys have any other questions, just pop them in the chat. And while you're doing that, I wanted to.
Joshua, I got you right here, so I'll send out that email. I may be able to catch her if she's on the other side of the building here when we get out of this webinar. And if I have an answer for you then already, then I'll get you that info real quick. If not, I may not hear from her until later in the day or tomorrow, but I'll definitely get back to you on the PTK veteran information.
Great. Hey, Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, first of all, if you have more questions, please pop them in the chat. We will clarify anything we said. In the meantime, just something to leave you with. So I know a lot of times when I was in school, the idea was, how am I get a job? So if you noticed, a lot of what I talked about was job focused. And so I wanted to just show you folks something. We do have, in the IT program, we have our own internal jobs program, which means that I share jobs with my students on a constant basis. So it's easy for me to say that, right? But let me show you just a list So this, if you folks could see my screen, this is, if you look at the dates here, as yesterday, cybersecurity jobs at Entergy, a graduation dinner we're going to throw for our students, scholarships for STEM majors. This is a registration thing. Tech job, a bunch of tech jobs and internships. Working for a game company as a developer. Program career federal career fair, which we had last Thursday. Is that Wednesday or Thursday? Last Thursday, we had a whole building at Tulane put aside for our students, and we had like 10 federal agencies come down and offer our students jobs. Here's more jobs available. And if you go into one of these, you'll see Naval Nuclear Laboratory, Adept Talent, Washington State Department of Ecology, so on and so forth. So I'm constantly sharing jobs with my students. So it's easy to say we got a jobs program, but just know that I send these things out on a pretty constant basis. And so if you're a student here, folks want to hire Tulane students. And so, we'll get you the information and you go out and apply, and you'll have this great Tulane degree under your arm, and maybe these professional certificates, definitely a capstone course, maybe a bunch of experience in events and challenges that you've done with Tulane, all the 450 plus labs. Once you do them, you'll be able to say, yeah, I did defeat a firewall. I did segregate a network. I did do an audit of a system to locate, so on and so forth. So I did do a resilience plan and a backup plan. I did do a due diligence on a cyber law thing. So this is all the stuff that you're going to learn here and you're going to take with you. So what's the max amount of courses you could take per semester? Is that at the undergraduate level or at the graduate level?
Hi, my name's Gabrielle. I'm speaking about the undergrad program.
Mm-hmm. Dan,
Well, yeah, sure. Joshua, I want to get back to you real quick and post a link on the website, but the tuition discounts can't be combined with one another. So it's one or the other, basically. The info is listed there on the website. They got a little asterisk mentioning that information. Gabrielle, the undergraduate students in good academic standing, 2.0 GPA, they can register for up to 18 credits a semester, which is essentially 6 classes. I don't have many students do that. At most, I have students take 4 or 5, but they may not work, or they only work part-time. A lot of students we have are full-time employees and families and lots of stuff going on. So I see those students taking 2, maybe 3 classes max in the beginning. And yeah, that's but yeah, it's certainly possible to take 18 credits. It just depends on what's offered and what you still need to take and all that kind of stuff. But even in summer we don't offer as many classes, not just in IT, but across the board, because there's not as many students enrolled. So, but yeah, you can enroll up to 18 credits in good standing as a undergrad. As a grad student, the max is 9 credits, just FYI too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. I also just wanted to mention to Joshua, yes, that is correct that you can't combine the PTK and the Veterans Scholar 20% discount, but there is something called the PTK Gap Scholarship, which can amount to $1,500, and that's potentially something that you could also use when you become a student. So we can follow up with you with more info on that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great information. So yeah, there's a lot of there's opportunities here at Tulane to engage in these different honor societies and like PTK and so on and so forth, not just for scholarships, but for enrichment as well. So you folks should know. And by the way, I've got over 20 courses going this summer, so you'll find stuff to take if you want to. And usually I've got over 40 in spring and fall as well. So you'll have courses to take and keep yourself pretty busy. So it was a good question. Thanks, Gabriel. Any other questions for us? Anything you're concerned about? Anything is there something, maybe it's not a question, maybe it's you're just concerned. Deadline for summer, you didn't miss it. So, but you'd have to apply kind of quickly and we kind of marshal you through. So I would say get that application up today. Let's put something in the chat for you to just click and apply, because this way you can get started quickly.
It's May 1st, but yeah, that's, you know, just getting everything in should be fine. The semester starts like literally the weekend after commencement, in like the 20th of May or something like that. And but like I said earlier, the electronic transcripts, they speed up the process a whole lot now instead of having the snail mail. Some schools will only do it by mail, but if you have a school that does it electronically, then yeah, it shouldn't be a problem getting everything set up and registered and looking at transfer credits and all that good stuff.
Yeah, if you move on, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to be an issue, but it's a matter of you completing the application relatively quickly, and then we usually move pretty quickly on our end. So that's a great question. So what else?
I have another question here. Certifications. I heard you mention certifications. Now, if I have a number of certifications already, how would that work towards going towards the master's program?
So if you have certifications already and you feel like you want to apply them, in other words, for a course, what Dan was talking about earlier, you'd have to go there. There's a process which he described in which you go through a process to make sure that your experiential learning, and that includes professional certificates, your experiential learning matches up to our course learning objectives. And so you'll spend time going through this process. It's not as simple as just say, hey, I've got a Security Plus, give me credit. It's because we are a highly accredited institution, we have to make sure that the credits we apply are done through a process. So there's a way to do it, but it's not as easy as it might sound initially. There's a way to do it, Joshua, and it's called credit for prior learning. Just after you're admitted, just ask Dan about that, and then it all eventually comes back to me to review. So it's something we do all the time, but it's something that I don't want to give you the wrong impression that it's just like send your cert over and you're good to go. You've got to complete this whole online thing. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Somebody else, I saw somebody come off, somebody pop up on the video. Was there any other questions? Well, thank you for taking time with us today. There's more information on the website, or I believe that our email addresses were on the last slide. Hopefully you folks grab that. You got more questions, just ship them over. I can pop my email in the, oh, there we go. There's my email address at the bottom. And there's Bill Ryle's email. Bill's my associate director. He's not here. So certifications that can be embedded in the graduate degree. We've got another question. Jeremiah, so what we offer, courses we offer are around right now. We got AWS Cloud. We've got Google Cloud. We've got courses in most all of the CompTIAs. So Data Plus, Security Plus, Server Plus, Network Plus, Project Plus, and I know I'm missing some others. We've got partnerships with EC Council for certified ethical hacking. We've got partnership with PeopleCert for DevOps certification and ITIL certification. We've got partnership with ServiceNow on their enterprise systems. Now, all of those could be applied towards your degree, whether it's undergraduate or graduate. If you take let me make sure I'm clear about this. We offer a course in these things. You take that course, and then it's applied towards your degree. You don't just go on the outside and get these things, and we give you credit for a course. That would be credit for prior learning, and that's what I was talking to Joshua about. But if you take our course in these certifications and you pass the certification and you pass the course, it would apply towards your degree, graduate or undergraduate. Did that make sense? Jeremiah, was that good? Okay, cool. What else? Any other questions? All right, well, I want to thank everybody for spending your lunch hour with us. Hopefully we got you some information to make a good decision about your future. Our courses have traditional students, career changers, non-traditional students, late learners, you name it. So you're going to be studying with traditional Tulane students, as well as, folks who are working full-time, people who want to get promoted, people who are coming from other careers. They're really exciting courses because you've got all these different folks in the courses, and they're a lot of fun. I still teach, and they're just a lot of fun. So thanks everybody, and have a great day. Hope to see you around.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. You're welcome.